Going to Mars, the Nikki Giovanni project. This is available on Max, and it is trying to get an Oscar nomination. It's also, I believe, eligible for the Spirit Award. I think it's up for a Spirit Award for documentary. I think. I don't know. I might be speaking out a turn here, but I did watch it on Max with audio description, so uh, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't watch it on the platform, guys. On the screeners platform, it's on Max pretty easily now. So it has audio description from Zoo Digital, and as it started to say who was doing it, um my Max. I love my screen readers. I love how we just cut people off right away. It was like written by you may also like, and I was like, thanks, screen reader. So I don't know who wrote this or narrated it. Um, it just cut me off. So, but I did get the Zoo Digital in there. So shout out to Zoo Digital on doing the narration for this. It's not a talking head documentary. It's a following the life of a single person documentary. If anything, this audio description is a great sort of uh, example of what could have been for a very similar documentary, Bobi Wine, the People's President, which is also in consideration for various things this year. I don't know which, I forgot the short list, guys. I think these are all on the short list. Maybe they're not. Um, but that one does not have audio description on Disney Plus, but they're shot in sort of the same way where they're just sort of letting the main people speak, and it's not like a bunch of talking heads bouncing back and forth to where it makes it almost impossible to insert audio description. There's actually a lot of really rich audio description here. Catches Nikki doing a lot of things from gardening to checking her phone. I didn't know who Nikki Giovanni was, and it really actually put a light on me as somebody who is constantly advocating for audio description and is on advisory committee for audio description at the American Council of Blind, that I don't even know who I'm supposed to look up who advocate for me. Like, I don't even know who those people were, and I need to learn. And this year, between a film about Bayard Rustin, a documentary about Nikki Giovanni, and even names being brought up in Stamped from the beginning, about all of these original sort of, um, I would say a little bit underrated leaders of the civil rights movement, have the fact that their names are not as prominent as others is just a shame. Although I feel like it's my fault. Every single movie has made it feel like somehow my education system failed me or I have failed me in these ways. This lady has Joe Biden on like her cell phone. She calls Joe when and or she, and one time it's Jill, and she tells Jill about this death that she's had in her family. And I'm just like, she just picked up the phone and she just called Joe Biden. you know, like that's the level of person that I'm watching right now. That's all you need to know. Really, I don't even need to know the rest. I'm just like, this random lady that I didn't know is able to just pick up the phone and call Joe Biden. Like, it's not like they give their phone number out to everybody. So, um, sort of like if I was having a conversation with somebody about film and they're like, hold on, let me call my buddy. Hey, hey, Steven, uh, you won't believe who I'm sitting here talking about Jaws with. Be like, wait, Steven who? Oh, Spielberg. Yeah, we're friends. I'd be like, oh, well, I've completely underestimated you as a human being. I apologize. So I feel like that happens in the Nikki Giovanni project as I'm learning about her work as a poet. In the beginning, it feels very weird that this thing is called Going to Mars. but the film does wrap it up in the end to where you're like, oh, I get it now. Um, I also don't. Taraji P. Henson has been doing a lot of like FYC stuff because she narrates this. That is a really light term for narration, if that's true. Either that or else Max, in favor of audio description, has eliminated most of her narration because it ain't here. And like there it's this lady is completely capable of speaking for herself. Whatever Taraji contributed to this project is almost unnoticeable. I was like, oh, Taraji P Henson narrates this. Okay, well, because I'd already seen the FYC campaign for this, and she'd been doing interviews, and she talked about how before she signed on to narrate, she went and met Nikki Giovanni, and I was like, oh wow, good for you. And then I watched the film, and I'm like, where are you? Where's Taraji? What are you doing? I was like, is she interviewing? Did she direct the film? I have no idea. Um, but if you're watching this for Taraji P. Henson, you're also watching it for the wrong reasons. You should just be watching it to find out why somebody thought we needed a film about Nikki Giovanni, and the questions will be answered. She's a fantastic human being, just through and through. I love her. Just oh my god, she's just, she's of an age. She's just gonna speak her mind. She's like, I've been on this earth. I love the jokes that she makes. She's very quick witted. She comes from a time period where obviously things were not great for her, and she had to fight for every right that she currently has. And that is not lost on me at all, even as a blind white male film critic. But I I just I'm ashamed I didn't know who she was and going into this, because it feels so much like every time she walks into a room, everybody's like, "Oh my god, is that Nikki Giovanni?" It's like she's Beyonce, and like so I just found out who Beyonce was. Like this documentary does a great job of selling her as being not like underrated, like she's not somebody that like needs to have the light shown on her, a little bit like how Bayard Rustin had, they were trying to shove him out of the civil rights movement. Um, Nikki Giovanni feels less like that and more like, you know, um, wow, I'm amazed to be here. Uh, she goes in to one place and they remind us that she's Grammy nominated, probably for reading her own work. Just gonna gonna guess gonna guess that, and we do get some of her poetry throughout. She wants to be. She had talked to somebody at NASA and talk about being the first poet in space, and that's kind of where the going to Mars idea comes from. And you know, I guess like he said something about like he's like, Nikki, I can take you into space, but I can't bring you back. She's like, do you know how old I am? I don't know if you know this, but we all die sometime. Might as well die in space. So I love she's just so whip smart, and I'm so glad I got to know her through this. This is such a delightful documentary that really encapsulates a person. She's also uh, quite proudly married to a woman, and she gives zero shits how you feel about that. She mentions throughout the film, she's like, I was blessed with the ability to not care what other people think. Just great, you know. It was just a wonderful human being, and the stories that she has to tell. And we watch her life, and then we watch her do simple things like gardening, or cooking in the kitchen with her wife. It's just so nice. This is a much different film than what I was expecting with a film called Going to Mars. I gotta be honest. That's because I didn't know who Nikki Giovanni was. But even if I did know, I'd probably still be confused because I'd be like, are we sending Nikki Giovanni to Mars? What's happening here? Such a weird and random title. But I think it's there to catch your attention so that that way you pay attention. I don't know. Watch the film, click on it, do what you can, and celebrate and lift up this woman. The audio description here, like I said, is exactly the audio description that I wish I could put on Bobby Wine. It navigates in and out. It's never intrusive. It manages to describe um, always, uh, sort of where she is and what she's doing, and the little sort of menial tasks that the camera just sort of captures her doing. It's very voyeuristic at times. It does have a narrative, and she does sit down and talk to the camera about story. She has like story time with the camera, where she talks about her past and specific things, or things that occurred to her, or experiences, or just even some of her own poetry. Um, but it all works together. It's amazing how this film is cut and pasted together. I always think it's weird when I hear written by for a documentary, because I'm like, you didn't really write this. I mean, I don't think anybody handed, this woman did not read from a script. I feel like if you handed this woman a script, she'd just throw it. She'd be like, I didn't write this. So I'm not reading it. She's strong. I'm delighted to have met her through this film, and she's 80, and I hope she just keeps kicking ass for another 80 years, however many. Wow, this put a smile on my face and did exactly everything it was supposed to do, while also making me think. It definitely has those moments in there, but it's not as deep and emotionally devastating as some other projects have been this year that are just like jaw dropping, hard to watch. This is simply just a celebration of an individual in all of its forms, the highs and the lows, the historical achievements, all the way to the wishful thoughts of getting on a ship and heading off to Mars with some popcorn and a six pack. uh, I think she's great. um, Oddly enough, I always feel like the documentaries that are trying to make a difference in the world um, are the ones that I always want to like win things. They're always at the top of my list for best documentary, like last year with Navalny. Um, and the year before, I think Attica was my favorite documentary of that year. Those sort of like we needed to pay better attention type documentaries, and I've already had a couple of those this year with Lakota Nation versus United States, Stand from the Beginning, Bobby Wine, have all sort of opened up doors that and said pay attention. Um, but I got to be honest and say, if this wins and Nikki Giovanni gets to walk on stage along with the documentarians, I'm down for it. If she's not walking on stage, I don't care. But if she can walk on stage with them and get on that microphone at the Oscars, I'm all for this. Um, what a tremendous person. So please check this out. It's on Max, and it does have audio description. So anyway, in case you didn't know where this was going, since I didn't say a bad thing about this film, I'm going to give Going to Mars, the Nikki Giovanni project, an A. So, don't forget to click that subscribe button. Click the like also. Likes help, I'm told. You can go to my website, macmovieguy.com. You can go to X, Threads, or Instagram and follow me at MacMovieGuy. You can go to the audio description project, adp.acb.org. It'll let you know what is audio description and where you can watch it. And you can go to the ADNA.org. That's the ADNA.org. It'll let you know who's narrating your favorite films and television series. That's it for me today. I'm going to watch something else and see you guys on the other side.